All right. Thank you, Shanea. Welcome, everybody. And I want to just applaud all of you for making it here today on a Memorial Day weekend. And Shanea, you have had an amazing vision pulling this all together for Lyme Awareness Month. It's been amazing to watch your journey and really see you blossom in your health and be able to, start to earn a living as well while, after all the trials and everything that you've overcome. So I really appreciate that you're here today, and I'm Rachel, everybody. So I'm just going to go ahead and hand it over to you.
Hi, welcome everybody. My name is Shanea. Thank you so much for joining. My purpose of this is to help people develop a better quality of life. So I got Lyme disease by a tick bite in 2013, and I had been on so many antibiotic treatments. I spent 2.5 years and $50,000 on antibiotic treatments, and I was just getting sicker and sicker and sicker, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. And I ended up watching a video of Dr. Dana Mcgrady and her protocol, Superfoods for Lyme disease. And so I took that to my doctor and I said, look, I don't think these antibiotics are helping me. I think they're hurting me at this point. Can we try something? Can we try this? Can we add this? And my doctor said, yes, absolutely. This would be great. So I did. And adding that to my treatment protocols through my doctor, adding this nutritional element in was the missing link that I needed to really improve my quality of life. And I went from not being able to pick up a 4-pound dog to being able to work a full-time, fully booked dog grooming schedule with no problem. In fact, I was grooming more dogs than I had ever groomed in my career. I went from having such serious brain fog where I woke up twice and I didn't know that the man next to me in the bed was my husband, to being able to think rapidly again and getting my memories back. And my pain levels went down with this. This helped me in so many ways, adding in this nutrition. And I really want to share this with so many people. And the other thing too is that so many people with Lyme disease, they end up not being able to work. I'm blessed and fortunate that I was able, but so many of us are not able to work. And so they end up just completely destitute, and they can't pay for treatment, and they can't afford to live. And so this is an option for people, not only to improve your quality of life, but also to be able to earn some money, maybe just to pay for your nutrition, or maybe even earn an income enough to help you pay for more treatment, just to really help you out while you're helping other people get good nutrition. So this is such a near and dear thing to my heart, and I really thank Dr. Dana Mcgrady for being here with us. And so I want to introduce Dr. Dana Mcgrady. She's a doctor of Eastern medicine. She has 3 practices in Miami, and she has become a spokesperson for this nutrition company, and she has done so many things to help so many people. And she's such a love. She's such a love. She just loves with her whole heart. And so I'm so blessed to welcome Dr. Dana Mcgrady.
Thank you, girlfriend. Thank you. I literally, my heart's bursting right now. I don't believe, I just love you. I want to hug you right now through Zoom. And honestly, I can honestly tell you, I don't know what you're going through with Lyme because I've never experienced it myself, but I can tell you the amount of patients that I've helped go through it. And I feel like I've emotionally poured every ounce into them that I can hopefully think that I can tell you I know what you're going through, right? Because I've been there holding their hand through their whole Lyme disease, journey, right? It's a journey. Everything that we go through in life is a journey. And Lyme disease, when it happens to you and you recognize that that's what you have, and you recognize, first off, you go through all these stages, right? You go through the stage of awareness, recognizing what you have. Because it's the most common undiagnosed, misdiagnosed. So that means people go through doctor to doctor to doctor to doctor. And I don't know if that was your experience, Shanea, but it's a lot of people that have come to me have gone to 16 doctors, 20 doctors, just in any way, shape, or form, trying to find out what they have. And so for me, I know you're going to ask me some questions that I'll just tell you. My experience has been 14 years. My father's a medical doctor, and he's a holistic guru. You know, he decided to do medical, holistic medicine, prevention of disease, and he specialized in Lyme disease. And this was, you know, when I was a little girl. So he's been doing, he started his own nutrition company 30 years ago. I'm 35. So I remember being in kindergarten when he started his nutritional company, and he specialized in Lyme disease. So imagine how before his time he was, because now we're realizing how many people have it, and it's an epidemic, you know, but at the time that he's been able to spot it ahead of time, when doctors were telling people, you know, we don't know what you have. And my dad said, I know exactly what they have. They have Lyme disease. So he trained me when I was learning and going through school. So I've been able to actually do advanced Lyme treatments with patients for 14 years now. So when I found Purium was when I recognized how green food, superfood nutrition can do wonders in your body when you're fighting Lyme disease. It's a beautiful thing. So we're going to talk about that today. So tell me what questions you have, Shanea. I'm excited to help.
Okay, so do you think that we are getting enough nutrition with the foods that we have available to us, especially since Lyme patients have to eliminate so many foods?
I mean, no way, no way, no way. So I don't think anyone, Lyme disease or not, is getting enough nutrition in the food that we're eating. Why? Because our food is depleted of nutrition nowadays. It's depleted. It really is. The soil doesn't have enough nutrition. It's hard. I mean, we can get it if we work really, really hard, but it's definitely hard to accomplish that. It's hard to get enough nutrition out of our food. So what I found is that the best possible way is to supplement. You know, some people fight supplementation. I don't think you should fight it. I think you should recognize that 50 years ago, you've got enough nutrition in your food, but that's just not the case these days. So our food is nutritionally depleted. If you're eating at a restaurant, it's usually microwaved. And if you're using a microwave, you kill all the nutrition out of your food. But with Purium, it's easy to do a green shake and super aminos and get the nutrition you need in a very simple way, you know, few dollars a day for nutrition, and it makes a huge difference in making sure you're getting enough nutrition. So no, I don't think it's in our food. I don't think. And I think Lyme disease patients need even more than the average person.
Right. Then that was going to be my next question, is why is it so important for Lyme patients to get the proper nutrition? What's happening in their body that they need it?
It's like a pathogenic war is going on. Right? So your body's fighting this bacteria. It's called Borrelia bacteria, transported by a tick or by even mosquitoes these days. You can get it a few different ways. And some people are like, I never had a tick bite. It doesn't matter these days. You can get it from a few different ways. So if you're being bombarded with this pathogenic war going on in your system, because Lyme disease has co-infections also. So that means you're fighting a bacteria, but then you can be fighting viruses that go along with it. You can be fighting a parasite called Babesia that goes along with it. Viruses, Epstein-Barr goes along with it. And there are a whole bunch of co-infections that go. There's a bacteria called Bartonella that goes along with Lyme. So when I'm, you know, having a new Lyme patient, I'm checking for all the co-infections too. So it's like this gigantic, the immune system's being attacked by all of these pathogens. And what happens is they try to bury into the tissues and the muscles and the lymphatic system, and they hide from the immune system, and they're really good at hiding. So when you give the body the proper nutrition for the symptoms of Lyme, if it's really good nutrition, it actually draws out the Lyme disease and gets the immune system strong enough to clear it out, which gives you your life back. That's when you see a Lyme patient in remission. And that's our goal, always.
That is amazing. So what about Purium sets it apart from other nutrition or supplement companies?
I mean, there are a lot of great supplement companies out there. I love any company that has good intentions, wants the person to be healthier after taking their stuff. That makes me happy, right? But what I love about Purium is I know the owners, Dave Sandoval, Amy Venner. They have a heart-centered mission. They're very picky about where they get their ingredients, and that's something I can trust because not all ingredients are created equal. You don't want a company that gets their ingredients from China or India or somewhere scary, right? You want to be able to trust where they're getting their ingredients from. And then I love Purium for the fact that it's dehydrated, okay? So this is huge, guys. When the ingredients are dehydrated, that means they use no heat in turning it from a food source to a powder. And so it's actually a barrel dehydration process, which is really, really special. And when that happens, it actually preserves all of the food source nutrition, low heat, and it's actually the same exact nutrition as if you were juicing, without all the cost, without all the work. And so for someone suffering from Lyme, they get this huge power punch of full source superfood nutrition, high quality, their body can absorb it, and it gives them enough fuel in order to fight this big pathogenic war going on in their body.
That is amazing. And that is so true. You can feel it. I totally could feel the difference. I could feel what was happening. So there are two specific products that I want you to touch base on. One is Biome Medic, and the other one is CBDs. So please talk to us about those two things.
Okay, good. Yay, my two favorites. So I actually did a Lyme protocol a while back. I did a Lyme disease Facebook Live protocol, and I know that was something that helped you, Shanea. And then afterwards, we came out with the Biomedic and the CBD. And I just remember being like, man, like I should have had these two at that point. I would have added them immediately because the Biomedic, all disease begins in the gut. And it's no different for Lyme disease patients. So when the gut lining is compromised, that means it thins out and the netting gets big. And what happens is different things can get through. So when you're fighting pathogenic, problems and you're eating inflammatory foods, then those inflammatory foods can get through the netting in your gut. And when you're eating gluten and when you're taking antibiotics, maybe a Lyme disease patient that's taking a lot of antibiotics prescribed by their doctor, they get through that lining. And what happens is it actually creates this systemic blood inflammation that stays in the body. And that creates this joint pain, joint inflammation. It makes the brain fog worse. We know what symptoms Lyme disease patients have. They have lots of aches, lots of pains, lots of joint aches. They get lots of bloating and gut issues. They get a lot of brain fog, and they get crazy chronic fatigue, right? So the one thing I found, the surefire way to make a big difference in making everything else work better is to heal up the gut anytime, no matter what. And the body does the healing, right? Because we're not diagnosing or treating any disease. We're just giving nutritional support for something they have going on in their body. So when you help them, give them something to really clean up that lining and get the body to start healing that microbiome, everything else you give them works better. Suddenly they can think straight. This is the Biomedic. They can think clear. They can, it makes that systemic blood inflammation, it curbs it at the pass, right? So if you heal up the gut lining, there's no more blood inflammation happening because nothing else can get through that netting. And so the Biomedic is key. You've got to heal up the gut lining. I always say add probiotics also. And the number one thing I do with the when I'm healing up the gut is I make sure that Lyme disease patients have to get off dairy and gluten. And that's like, no matter what, they have to do that. And so I know it's hard for people sometimes. So I'm sorry, guys, if that scares you. Get off dairy and gluten. You'll never look back. You'll feel better than you've ever felt in your whole life. And the biomedic will work so much better because of it, right? So you have to be at that point where you really want to take control of your life back. You really want to feel better. And then CBD. So we came out with the CBD in April. The CBD is incredible. Our body is built with an endocannabinoid system. So we're designed with CBD receptor sites that are ready to absorb it. And so the way that CBD helps Lyme disease patients is the joint aches and pains get better, and the anxiety gets better. Okay, so Lyme disease comes with a brain fog, nervous system upset, right? That upsets your nervous system, which makes you more anxious than normal. And so the way that CBD helps is it gives you this grounding feeling. It helps you feel balanced. It helps you feel grounded and happy, and it not in a drugged up way, in a nutritional support way. And so that's one thing I love about CBD is it helps Lyme disease patients generally feel calmer. Okay, so that's number one. We all want to feel calmer, Lyme disease or not, right? And so the other thing is we have CBD1 receptor sites in our body. And we have CB1 receptor sites and CB2 receptor sites. And Purium CBD actually helps both. And CB1, is for feeling balanced, relaxed, grounded. CB2 is for the inflammation and for the joint aches and pains. And so it actually helps both. So it shuts off those receptor sites. And if you can have less inflammation, then hey, I think that's worth it just in its own, because I know someone truly suffering from Lyme, it takes over their life. And so that's one thing I would say, but with CBD, it's a great addition to any Lyme protocol just for the calming factor, I think, myself.
I completely agree. I completely agree with you. I had been having such severe panic and anxiety attacks, and since I started taking the CBDs, I haven't had another one. It's amazing. My car got hit, and I was cool as a cucumber. It was crazy. So if you don't mind, go over your protocol for superfoods, for your Lyme protocol for superfoods, and a little bit of why each one.
For sure. Okay, so this is what a patient comes in, a new patient with Lyme disease. This is what I do for them, okay? So these are the most common symptoms for Lyme disease. You have brain fog, right? They call it Lyme fog. I'm sure you've heard of that before. They have joint aches and pains, like incredibly bad joint aches and pains, not just normal ones, on a different scale, because all the pathogens actually hole up in the joints. The next thing Lyme disease patients have, chronic fatigue, like so tired they can't get out of bed. Okay, so this is very real. They're not just depressed, they literally have no energy. They wake up with no energy. The other thing that Lyme disease patients suffer, like I said, the other two things are the gut issues and the anxiety, right? Lots of emotional anxiety, depression type stuff. So right off the bat, when patients come, I put them on a 10-day transformation. And the 10-day transformation is just the jump start. It's really a 40-day, right? Because I make them do 10-day and add the core 4, and I have them start the core 4, which is daily nutrition. It's a green shake, super aminos. The green shake is raw, dehydrated, 6 superfood salads in one shake. And what it's doing is it's just giving them, adding some good things into their system. Just giving them some good nutrition, minerals, food source enzymes that are going to help reduce some of that inflammation. right? And so then after that, I'm going to give them, they're going to do the core 4 for a little bit. Super aminos are the vegan protein. They're happy pills. They help to, you know, give them lots of vegan protein, right? 99% utilization into the muscles gives them fuel for the day, okay? So that's important. The other thing is the apothecary. The apothecary is going to reduce their inflammation while they're sleeping. 1 ounce of the apothecary, 7,500 ORAC value on the antioxidant scale, is going to give them the same anti-inflammatory benefits as 3 ibuprofen before bed. I know a lot of Lyme patients that are popping ibuprofen before bed because they feel like their inflammation is so high. So if we can give them medicinal food source anti-inflammatories that are just going to naturally give them the support they need to reduce that inflammation for their body to heal itself, then that's incredible. You're giving them a present, right? So I always have them do a 40-day, 10-day transformation will reduce that inflammation really fast. It gets the body's healing rate up. So when you get the body's healing rate up, that means the body's power is turned on, right? So when you turn on that healing power, then suddenly everything starts working again. Because with Lyme disease, it's all stopped. The healing rate stops. It's just your body's just dealing with the inflammation, right? And it's kind of in fight or flight mode. So what I found is when you give them a 40-day nutrition pack, suddenly the body's healing rate starts working. You get them off the inflammatory foods and you load their body up with so much nutrition that it starts to work again, right? The healing turntable starts working again. So that's the first thing. The next thing I do, just a couple of different things that I give for different symptoms, the joint flex. The joint flex is incredible, okay? So I know it says 6 a day on the bottle, but for Lyme patients, I naturally do 12 a day. And I usually start them with 18 a day for the first 3 days to give them a loading dose, okay? Why? Because you want to bring down that inflammation pretty rapidly. The next thing I do is for the brain. Lyme disease patients are famous for their Lyme fog. That means they have so much brain fog, they can't even get through the day. They can't even think straight. Everything's clogging up the brain. So I give them Revive It All. Our Revive It All is amazing. On the bottle, it says 3 a day, but for Lyme patients, I naturally give them 6 a day, no matter what. The next thing is the Can't Beat This. Lyme patients are famous for their chronic fatigue. The Can't Beat This, 1 scoop in the morning, 1 scoop in the afternoon, helps them get through the day. It's got beets, which gives them natural oxygen to the blood. It increases the immune system, and it has amazing adaptogenic herbs, which help with the adrenals, right? So the adrenals helps them to function throughout the day. It helps them to manage the natural stress that their body's being put under. So I love the Can't Beat This. The other things are for the pathogenic activity. Immunomax. I'm in love with Immunomax. So I do 12 a day Immunomax. And then the ViraSure. The ViraSure helps with the co-infections, okay? So the ViraSure I do about 6 a day with my patients. The last but not least is Super Cleansar. Super Cleansar is going to help the parasitic co-infections that go along with Lyme. And so you can do 10-day spurts of 4 a day, or you can do 2 a day for 30 days and just try to clean out some of those parasites as best you can.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that. And then I also would love, here we go with brain fog right now. No, I want to also introduce my very special friend, Rachel Balancet. She is so amazing. I love her so much. She has just reached her hand out and helped me through life. I'm telling you, just helped me through life. I love her so dearly. She has had an amazing transformation also with these superfoods, and I just want her to be able to tell her story. So Rachel.
Thank you. And I just want to thank you so much, Dana, for this protocol. I've shared it with many people, and it's just amazing how it's given, you know, my friends with Lyme help, like just a lot of support, and some who you already know and are friends with. So thank you. This is really wonderful. You know, one of the things that really happened for me is I, you know, suffered from Hashimoto's autoimmune disorder of the thyroid, and also adrenal fatigue. They go hand in hand. And so, you know, I was really amazed when I did this protocol, the same protocol that for Lyme, except for I didn't do the joint flex, and I didn't do the can't beat this because they didn't have it back then. So, but it was incredible how much that just gave me my energy back. My brain fog went away. My adrenal fatigue went away, and I just had an incredible sense of energy, to the point that I even went out and started bodybuilding and started entering competitions and won a couple bodybuilding competitions. And so yeah, I proved it to myself that I was able to get well. So, you know, and then one of the things that happened is I was in the same situation as you, Shanea. I wasn't able to work at the time. I was really struggling to make ends meet. And so I had been doing wedding photography for like 20 years. And what I did was I pushed wedding photography out of the ballpark. I just pushed it away and started sharing Purium with all my friends, because I wanted to bring health and nutrition to all my friends. I just really wanted everyone to experience the incredible surge of energy I had, and just the sense of well-being, and just the mood lift I had when I was experiencing depression at the time as well. And a lot of things changed. You know, all of a sudden I was wearing rose-colored glasses. So I know what you feel like. I know that feeling of being kind of bedridden and then suddenly having my life back. And so I was like you too. I just really wanted to share this with the world. And I was really grateful for the gift cards that you can get, you know, because not only can you get the nutrition, you know, you can become a brand partner. And so I decided to become a brand partner. I saw the vision right away, and I, you know, got the brand partner pack, which is a launch pack, and it's like unlimited gift cards, which are $50 gift cards, because that's how I got started. Someone gave me a $50 gift card. And so I wanted to be able to give these to my friends, and I did. I started handing them out. And it was really amazing, because in a short period of time, I was able to start getting my products paid for just from the rewards that I was getting from sharing these gift cards. And I chose to make it a full-time business, actually, myself. You know, I spent the first 4 months living in my car, and by the end of the year, I was able to travel and go visit my family in the Philippines. And then within a year and a half, I was actually sending money to the Philippines and sending money to my Filipino family, helping them get businesses started, getting them teeth because they were struggling from malnutrition. And now now it's on the map, because I want to start bringing these green foods out there and see if I can help them have like a juice bar out in the Philippines, and you know, be supporting themselves that way. That's my long-term vision. So, or short-term, hopefully it'll happen soon. But I really heard what you said earlier about how, you know, when people are sick, it's really hard to, you know, earn a living except for whatever you can do from your bed or from your phone. And so, you know, this is a really nice way, especially with social media. It's very easy to share what we have. And even just having the gift cards, you know, every time I see, you know, anyone who's in the service industry, whether they're working at the gas station, or there's somebody who's serving me a meal, or there's somebody who I meet out and about at, you know, at a hotel, I just hand them, get Uber drivers, Lyft drivers, I hand them, you know, I ask them about their life, and I hand them a gift card and let them know something that I might recommend that I think might help them if they're struggling with sleep or whatever. So it's been amazing to be able to share this and to be able to support myself, going from total, you know, just like collapse in my life, a time where I was just collapsed, and being able to now, you know, be thriving. And in Purium, like I said, I no longer do photography, and now Purium is my full-time living. Some people choose just to do, you know, just to share some gift cards to get their products paid for. People like me, I really saw the vision of wanting to help the world like I see you doing. So, you know, I just wanted to let everybody know who's on this call, if you're somebody who wants to do Dr. Dana's protocol, whoever invited you, I'm sure probably has a $50 gift card for you, or if they're showing this video to you, they have a $50 gift card, and we'd be happy to share with you to get you started, and you could use that to order things on the protocol, which you can reach out to any of us, and we'll make sure that you know what that protocol is. It's definitely written down, and whoever invited you will have access to that protocol as well. So yeah, thank you so much for just creating this amazing, just this great Zoom during Lyme Awareness Month. and for having the vision to bring Dr. Dana to the public and letting her have this conversation with us. And I really appreciate it. We can, close now and then just open it to questions if anyone has it.
Oh, wait. One more thing.
Okay.
One more thing that I really need to stress is anybody who has Lyme disease, you must take this to your doctor. You have to work with your doctor because every single Lyme patient is different. All of their symptoms are different. All of their co-infections are different. So you have to do this working with your doctor.
Very good point. And same with Hashimoto's, since that was the thing that I talked about. Yeah, and we can always send you the ingredient list to share with everybody. So thank you, Shanea.
Thank you so much. You can open for questions.
Does anybody have questions for any of us or Dr. Dana? If you've pressed *6, you can come off mute if you're on the phone. And otherwise, just click the mute button, click the screen and click the unmute button if you have something. And if not, we can just close the meeting.
Hey, Dr. Dana, it's Dr. Gorman. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm wonderful.
I just got my doctorate in Oriental Medicine just a month ago, so I've joined the ranks.
Yay!
Yay! So I have a question for you about two of the products. I think it's Revive It All and the microbiome. And I know they've got like a trace, like they're not 100% gluten-free. And I'm wondering with your patients who have like full-blown celiac, do you have to steer them away from those two products? Or is that something that you found actually works even with people with full-blown celiac disease?
So I've actually had a few celiac patients do just fine on the Biometic, and they won't ever give it up because it makes them feel so good. But I can't recommend it. You know how it is it has less gluten than in gluten-free pasta. So if they're celiacs and they eat gluten-free pasta and they're fine with it, then they can have Biometic just fine. But I can't recommend it as their practitioner. I just make sure they're fully aware of it. But anyone that's gluten sensitive is just fine on the Biometic. And what I found is the reason they're gluten sensitive is because they've got those holes in the microbiome, right? So that means the gluten's getting through those holes and getting into the bloodstream and causing a systemic blood inflammation. So the Biometic stops up those holes, right? Because the normal amount, the safe amount in the netting should be 2 to 7 microns. And in someone with leaky gut or Lyme disease or someone with any kind of gut inflammation, the holes get to be 200 to 300 microns. So the Biometic actually aids in closing up that netting. So if they have gluten sensitivity, they actually need the Biometic, right? Because it's like, what comes first, the chicken or the egg? You've got to heal up the netting in order so they're not as gluten sensitive, right? But someone that's celiac, it's different because it's not gluten sensitive. It's actually a blood allergy. So if they're celiacs, then you definitely have to legally tell them, let them know there's gluten in it, trace amounts. But it is less gluten than gluten-free pasta. So if they're celiacs, obviously celiac patients aren't going to think twice about having gluten-free pasta. So, that's got to be their decision.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate all your clinical experience that you share with us, and you have a really awesome way of explaining it. So thank you so much for all the work that you do around this.
You're welcome, girl. Congratulations on your graduation, and welcome to the doctor ranks. That's awesome.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
More people like you. All right. Anyone else, guys?
I have a question.
Hi.
I'm Diana. I'm wondering how we find doctors who believe in nutrition to treat the Lyme and adrenals.
Where are you located?
I don't know where I'm in California, Northern California.
Oh my goodness. I imagine there's so many in California. Rachel's in California and she could probably help you find someone. I can't imagine. There are definitely not as many out there that are truly amazing at what we do, but
Deborah Gorman's in California.
Who is?
Dr. Gorman, who just said hello, who was just talking. She's in sabbatical.
Good. When you find a good holistic doctor, you hold on to them like a treasure. I can honestly tell you, because they'll help you prevent disease throughout your whole life. But now that you have Purium, you're going to have the wisdom of Dave Sandoval. You're going to have all the education that Purium gives you, and you're going to be able to prevent disease with superfood nutrition. So sometimes, you definitely search for a holistic doctor, but when you find a holistic doctor, tell them about Purium and give them your gift card code. That's my best advice.
Thank you.
All right. Anyone else?
So after you, hi, this is Lori from Rhode Island.
Hi, beautiful.
Nice to see you.
You
So
too.
thank you. So after the 10-day, then we're talking about being on the core, the core 4 continuously, and then continuing with the Revive It All and the joint flex and everything that you suggested as well.
Yeah, the one thing I left out was Super Xanthine. Super Xanthine is my heavenly place. So Super Xanthine is incredible for increasing the healing rate in the body. It's a high grade antioxidant, which is great when you're battling pathogens. And it's amazing for ligament support. So like joint aches and pains. So when I take 4 a day Super Xanthine, I have no neck pain. And I got hit by a snowboarder February of last year. And I've had neck pain ever since, but not when I take the Super Xanthine. It shows how powerful it is. So Super Xanthine is one thing I accidentally left out of the protocol that I would definitely say Lyme patients need. Like they need to keep it in their purse at all times. Yeah.
Great. Thank you. Well, I'm also noticing with the Super Xanthine, this is just a side note, because I'm outside a lot, that I do not burn and I'm not using any kind of sunscreen or anything, number one, because it's full of toxins, but I don't need to.
Yeah, it's natural sunscreen. It's amazing.
Yeah. Thank you.
I have a question for you, Dr. Dana. This is Rachel. Hi. Would you ever recommend that people start with the core 4 to kind of like do the core 4 for the first 10 days before they accelerate into the 10-day? Okay, cool. That's what I've been recommending.
Especially when they're very sick, and I love that you brought this up. I say 40-day, but I always say start with core 4 for at least a week, because then you're putting in good nutrition in your system, and you're not starting too quick into the detox, because the detox with Lyme patients, they're usually bedridden and they're usually extra tired anyways, and they're usually emotionally drained. So starting with the core 4 for a week to 10 days gives them a little bit more nutrition in their system, helps them to alkalize a little bit before you jump into a 10-day. So you don't want someone with Lyme to have a really harsh detox. You just don't, because the Herx reactions can be really harsh.
Yeah, so thank you so much for that. And I just wanted to clarify for people that the 40-day itself is made up of core 4 nutrition plus the 10-day. It's all included in the 40-day pack, which is, I tend to recommend the 40-day ultimate nutrition because it has the biomimetic in it, and you can customize it. And whenever you spend over $200, you get 25% off. So it's nice to buy the big pack at once, because that's going to save you $105. So, it's around 300, ends up being about 315, which is less than about $10 a day for 60 meals for, a month. You just have maximum nutrition. So it's actually, for me personally, it's actually saved me $300 my first month when I did that. It saved me $300 on groceries because I was spending that much less money, but I was having way more nutrients than I had the month before that, spending lots of money on organic groceries. So it's awesome too for people who are sick and having a really low budget. It's just like a really nice way to save money.
Yes, perfect. I love that. Thank you, Rachel. You've never looked prettier too.
Thank you. Reverse aging, all that.
So true. All right, guys. Any more questions? Ooh, hi, beautiful.
Hi, Dr. Dana.
Hi, love.
I have a question. So this sounds like a really great protocol for people that have Lyme's disease, but would you also recommend this for anyone that has an autoimmune?
Yes, fibromyalgia. Oh yeah. So The only difference is autoimmune can be lupus, fibromyalgia, MS. I would recommend it for all of those. But for Hashimoto's with the thyroid, I would add the Super Life formula and the Be Energetic. And possibly white American ginseng, depending on what they're willing to spend, you know, but you need to add a couple of those hormone support products we have that are so great.
And as somebody who's been working with
Thank you.
Hashimoto's, and I would say that it's in remission, is that I really like the white American ginseng myself, and I use the Love Shake, not the Power Shake. So you can customize the shakes, and the Love Shake with all those adaptogens, all those mushrooms and herbs, like, and all that extra protein is just perfect for me. And because all the grains are fermented and sprouted, so that really works well for us.
Yeah, I just wanted to add too that I was doing some research on adaptogenic herbs, and then I was surprised to know that a lot of the herbs that I was looking at is actually in the Love Shake. So, I mean, it's all there. No need to go and buy it separate and kind of question where it's coming from. We all know it's coming from a good source.
Well, I want to let everybody know that this is being recorded, and we're going to make this video available. So, you know, anybody who wants to share this with their people, please feel free to send this video link to people once it's ready.
I have a question, Dr. Dana. With doing the protocol for like Hashimoto's and autoimmune problems that you have, like I have Hashimoto's, do you do the same intensity of the same protocol? And then the next question is how long do you do that?
With Hashimoto's, I mean, I guess that is kind of another live. Right? We probably should do another live. We should do these once a month, huh, Rachel?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, so Rachel's really the Hashimoto's queen. I've been seeing Hashimoto's patients for a long time, you know, 14 years, and I've been working with infertility patients for a long time. So the biggest thing with Hashimoto's is when did your body start rejecting your thyroid, right? And when did your body start doing the antibodies to say, no, this thyroid's not working, we're going to shut it off. And so you need your thyroid, right? You need to feel like a woman, and you need to feel like your thyroid's your mothership for all your hormone secretion. So that means it stops secreting the happy hormones that you need to feel young and you know, have your metabolism. So what I love about this protocol is it turns your body's healing rate on, especially the 40-day ultimate nutrition. So if that's the case, you do the 40-day ultimate nutrition, add some Super Life formula, add some Be Energetic to do thyroid and adrenal support, add the white American ginseng, and maybe do the 40-day nutrition with the Love Shake. I mean, that's what I would say right there. You can add anything you think would be good too, Rachel, but I think with Hashimoto's, that would be the ultimate.
I will definitely get with you, Rachel. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Dana.
You're welcome, beautiful.
I have a question, Dana. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, do you ever like
You're breaking up, darling.
Okay. I've got Wi-Fi. Can you hear me?
I can't really know who you are. I think it might be Sandy, but I can't tell. You're breaking up.
You could try.
Yeah. Okay. I'm breaking up, so it won't work here, but I can hear you. So that's.
Yeah, your phone's breaking up, darling. All right. Anyone else? Okay.
Looks like Sandy's going to ask her question in the chat box.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good. Okay, Sandy, ask in the chat. Okay, and I see, would Graves' disease be the same protocol as Hashimoto's? I mean, here's the deal with Graves' disease is your thyroid goes super fast and your heart rate goes super fast and it causes anxiety. So I would add the CBD to the Graves' protocol. And then I would also maybe think about heart aid depending on if you're getting any swelling up here with this artery. That's what Graves' disease can affect that artery, and it can cause high blood pressure. And anyways, yeah, that's what I would differentiate with the Graves protocol. Okay, Sandy's question is, do you ever have very sick patients that have been hospitalized and on antibiotics for months? Yeah, I mean, with Lyme, yeah. Lyme patients often have to do long-term IVs, long-term antibiotics. Everyone's journey is different. I know I have Lacey who's on here. She could definitely give you guys some good tips. I don't know if Lacey's still on, but Lacey is going to a treatment center, you know, soon for her Lyme to do long-term, you know, 6 weeks of IVs and really kind of kick herself into healing gear. And every Lyme disease patient is different, but it is very serious. And that's why we love Lyme Disease Awareness Month, because so many people have it and haven't been diagnosed. So they're not aware of what's going on in their body. And so the more awareness we bring, the more good we can do in the world, right? And that's what it's all about. It's all about spreading the awareness. And Shanea, really, we have to give her props and a lot of hugs, and all of us can send her virtual hugs for recognizing that this is a real issue. And if she's going to make a difference in the world, she, you know, got Rachel and she got me, and she organized this whole thing so that you guys can have a tool to spread awareness and make sure that people get the nutrition they need so that they can actually start taking their power back and get their healing power back and take charge of their own health. So we thank you, girl. All right, guys. So Tony, any more questions, or else we're gonna.
Oh my gosh, you guys. So thank you so much for that recognition. I also want to say that I'm also doing weekly interviews on Sundays at 1 o'clock with Lyme patients on Facebook Live. So that's another thing that I'm doing, is I've launched this launched this project, and I have people scheduled out until December right now to get their voices heard, so we can spread awareness and people can understand that what we're going through is very serious.
Awesome. Thanks, Shanea. I think it's a good time to close. I think we've had a lot of questions and answers, and hopefully we'll all get together again next month, and maybe we can focus on Hashimoto's. Glad that we covered a lot in this call. Thank you so much, Dr. Dana and Shanea. Thank you so much for putting this together. You're amazing, and I just hope that this reaches a lot of people far and wide. So please, everybody, share this video. Enjoy your day, everybody.
Awesome. Thanks, guys, so much for jumping on. Bye, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Bye.
Thanks,
Bye.
Dr.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.